Hi, I'm David Enterline. Today I want to talk about the new I-526E petition that was recently released by U.S. Immigration Service. It's the immigrant petition by a regional center investor, and it's specifically defined by the E after the I-526. So any investor that's investing into a EB-5 project that is being sponsored by a regional center would file the petition with this particular form. If an investor is filing what we often refer to as a direct investment, meaning a company in which they own themselves, they would use the other original I-526 petition that was recently released by Immigration Service with the updates. Now, after reviewing the petition, the I-526E petition, I found something quite interesting that I wanted to share. The new petition requires that the investor file an additional check of $85 for biometric service appointments. Now, in many petitions filed before Immigration Service and many other benefits by Immigration Service, there is often the need to take a biometrics examination, which is typically fingerprints. And you would go to the service center office and provide the biometrics or have the fingerprints taken. In all of those conditions, there is an $85 fee for that biometrics appointment. Now, under the I-526 petition, what's interesting is that the instructions say that USCIS may require that you appear for an interview or provide fingerprints, photograph, and or signature at any time to verify your identity, obtain additional information, and conduct background and security checks, including a check of the criminal history records maintained by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, what's interesting about this requirement is that if anybody is outside the United States and is filing the petition, it's really quite some burden for them to have to fly to the U.S. to attend a biometrics examination. Basically, it's just really unreasonable to ask them to do so. Now, of course, Immigration Service probably will not require those petitioners who are outside the U.S. to go to the U.S. for a biometrics appointment. In fact, those fingerprints are taken at the U.S. consulates at the time of the interviews for their immigrant visa. So they are still taken, but later on after the petition has been approved. But Immigration Service is still collecting $85 for this service. So if anybody is outside the U.S., they're having to pay that $85 biometrics fee, and probably are never going to have to fly to the U.S., hopefully, to take the biometrics. So it's almost like an extra $85 for Immigration Service. Now, if somebody is in the U.S. and files the I-526E petition, then perhaps they're a student, then it may be reasonable that they may be called for a biometrics appointment, and thus paying the $85 fee is reasonable. Again, if you're outside the U.S., in most cases, it's probably going to be just an additional fee that you have to pay as an EB-5 investor that may never be used. Well, thank you for joining and listening, and if you have any questions, please contact us.